let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go, 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 go.
Six.
It's beautiful.
Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude.
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
Willis Automotive powers the Rush Radio Show, and if you're in the market for a vehicle, this is where you start. New, used, or certified pre-owned, Willis Automotive has the selection, the people, and the service to make it so easy. No pressure, no games, just a team that knows how to take care of you. Check them out at willisauto.com. That's willisauto.com, and experience the difference. Morning, everybody. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, give this channel a subscription, give the video a like, start sharing your comments in the comments section. We find out this morning, Ross Peterson, that Kansas decided to play like Kansas last night. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Wow.
Yeah, there was a moment in that second half, Trav. They closed the gap. Iowa State closed the gap, and I started to question all that. Yesterday we said, "Hang, that Fog Allen's one of those alive places. It plays an impact." But this group of Cyclones, if you're TJ Altenberger, you got to walk in the locker room and say, "This, you're not playing those ghosts." Well, played against a couple of those ghosts. They made that run in the second half and closed it down. And really, in the second half, I didn't realize till I saw the box score this morning that it was 40-40 in the second half. I mean,
they played a lot better.
Oh, it was a close game. It's the opening of that game, that first half. It's Kansas played like Kansas. Good way to put it.
Well, what they say, I think it was in Iowa State, uncharacteristically, just turned the ball over so early last night and made really, really dumb mistakes. They didn't have a lot. They had, I think, 10 turnovers in the first half, which is what they average for a game in the season. They only ended up with 12, so they took care of the basketball a lot better.
That's a great example of that first half, second half, how different they played. That's a good stat, Trav.
But Kansas turned those turnovers into 17 points. And, Iowa State shot 24% for field goal in the first half. And Ross, it was the first time all year. And again, it's a humbling loss. The world's not ending by any means. We knew Iowa State was going to lose at some point. This team is still elite. But it was the first time all year I really saw Iowa State out of sync, right? From the turnovers to defense to even the offensive continuity in the first half. They just could not get into a rhythm. And the truth is, say what you want about Bill Self, the Kansas teams of late haven't been as good, but that guy can flat out coach. And I think when they were coming off, they were 1-2 in the Big 12. You're at home against the number 2 team in the country. You kind of emphasize the importance of what's at stake there. Because they hadn't been 1-3 in a conference since they were in the Big 8. I mean, the Big 8 was the last time Kansas was 1-3 in the league.
We were talking about Ben McCollum losing 4 in a row. When's the last time Bill Self was in these positions?
It's been a while.
And Trav, we also said yesterday, hey, there's going to be a couple big possessions. There will be big moments in this game where you've got to slow things down and buckets are going to matter. And that happened on both ends. And I think, like, as you're talking about Bill Self there for a minute, a few possessions ran through my head. Like when Killian Torrey gets hurt and they stop the game. Iowa State's starting to make a run. They're starting to climb back in. This is a momentum moment. Kansas responded in those moments with good plays. Think about how, like, second half starts, very first play of the second half. I think it was even Buchanan's only bucket. They got that feed to him, and he goes and he dunks, and you're like, okay, momentum starter, big possession. Kansas had about 4 of those last night, where it seemed like when Iowa State made that run, when you had to have a big bucket, they got a big bucket. When they needed that 3 to go down, it went down. And Iowa State just couldn't do. What we also had talked about with this Iowa State team, what you see, you think you're going to see forever. They haven't been let down. They haven't had a night. We've said over and over, you can have a night where Jefferson goes for 12 and you can win a game. You can have a night where Momcilovic isn't on fire and you're still going to win that game because you've got Torre and Buchanan. All of these guys are capable. Travis, their leading scorer last night was Jefferson with 12.
Yeah, I mean, I think you had 4 guys in double figures, but Jefferson there were 4 guys in double figures.
5 guys got into
5 guys double figures.
Yeah,
but that was about it, right? I mean, it was.
But all of them at 10, 11, 12, obviously.
Yeah.
More importantly, Lipsey's 4 of 15 from the field. Jefferson's 4 of 14 from the field. So,
and you mentioned
Kansas played like Kansas. Iowa State did not play like Iowa State. Can play. So
not even close. And you're right with Kansas being able to counter. So think of it as like a heavyweight boxing match, right? You, all of a sudden you got some flurries and you're like, oh, this might be it. This is where they're going to come back. And then the opponent just comes back and nails a roundhouse. I think Iowa State got within 10 or 12 in the second half. My memory is
the end of the night. I was fading.
But then all of a sudden it was back up to 22. You're like every answer Kansas did not fold at home. And Bill Self kept last night's lineup tight. He only played 7 players last night. Now, he cleared the bench late, but they only used 7 players throughout the game. And he's like, okay, it's you 7. I'm rolling the ball out. Go get the job done. And they did that. And the crowd was into it from the beginning. They understood the importance of it. And it was a beatdown. But it's not one of those I'm like, wow, this team got beat by 21.
You lost at Kansas.
Exactly. They still have the mystique to where, you mean if you lose, give me a bad team in the Big 12 right now. If you lose, I mean, there's not many bad teams in the Big 12.
Who is the worst team in the Big 12 right now? Is it Utah? Cincinnati? K-State? No, it's not K-State. They wouldn't be the worst.
No.
Utah or Cincinnati. K-State's 0-3 in the conference right now, Trav.
And they're not a bad team.
I don't think so either.
I mean, if you lose up by 21 by somebody, you're like, really? But you go to Kansas and go, that's what happens. That's why they have the banner that says beware the fog when you walk in, and you're like, oh, it can get foggy. It can get foggy really quick. And that's what happened last night. And Kansas led from wire to wire. Iowa State never had a lead in that game. It was Kansas from the beginning. And so Iowa State drops to 16-1 overall, 3-1 in the Big 12 Conference. Again, the sky's not falling. This team is so good. It will come back from this. And I saw it earlier in the chat, and I'm a believer in this. Losses can be good. It humbles you a little bit. You go, okay, we're good. Yeah. We're not as good as we think we are, right? I mean, is that you have to – it's a reminder that you've got to dial it in every single night because when you're the number 2 in the team in the country, they're coming for you, brother. They're coming for you.
You've said a lot, and there have been times you've said it, and I almost pushed back. You've said a lot this year. Hey, they're going to lose at some point. You 5 or 6 times. We've been talking about Iowa State in the middle of saying, oh, yeah, they're undefeated, having a great year. They're incredible. They're elite. They're fantastic. They've got so many options. You've said in the middle of those conversations about a half dozen times or so, by the way, hey, they're going to lose a game at some point this year. And there's been a couple times I've been like, hey, which one? Because I don't see them losing the game. I didn't see them lose. I mean, again, obviously, he lost to Kansas. But there were times I wanted to push back on you and go, I don't know. I don't know if they're probably going to lose another one.
They got to go to Arizona. I mean, that's not going to be easy. That's the number 1 team in the country, right? Now, what you don't want to have happen is lose 2 or 3 in a row. Then you start going, okay, are you not as good? But I still think this team is elite. I still think this team is Final Four caliber. I think it's Elite 8 caliber. But Ross, and the reason I would say that, I would say that about every team. Arizona is going to lose at some point this season. But it's just some nights it's just not there. Somebody just gets your number. If Arizona went through this season unbeaten, I would be shocked. I just think it's so hard to go 30-plus games through the regular season, through a conference tournament, and stay unbeaten. And I think, most coaches will tell you, yeah, sure, they want to go unbeaten, but I think deep down they understand the value and the learning experience from a loss. Yeah. You have to learn from that. And, would you rather lose 1, 2, or 3 games in the regular season and win the national championship? Hell yes. Or go unbeaten and not win the national championship? That would be the heartbreak.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
That would be the heartbreak, man.
Oh, that'd be horrible. All right, before we get back into the classic Big 8 matchups at Oklahoma State and Colorado and K-State, Iowa State has at Cincinnati next, coming up on Saturday. And then next week, it's another... God, this is a head scratcher. When you see it, I had one of those moments, Trav. As I pulled the schedule up and I saw this game, I went, why is that in the middle of conference play? They'll host Central Florida on the 20th.
Because Central Florida is in the Big 12 conference.
I had that moment. I pulled it up and I was like, UCF? What am I missing here? Oh, yeah. That's what I'm... Yeah, UCF's the Big 12 team now.
And UCF just beat Kansas.
No knock on the Big 12, Big 10. I have that moment with the Big 10 often as well. I think we all do with those conferences. But I saw that and I thought, oh, they're doing one of those. They're doing one of those Big 12 game. Atlantic 10 matchups. I like it.
When Iowa played Oregon this year in Iowa City, I could accept it as a conference game just because where it fell, but it was like when Oregon is in the college football semifinal, and it's like the Big Ten. You're like, oh yeah, it's the reminder that you're in the Big Ten.
I had that when Oregon, Indiana, and it was like, well, a Big Ten team's going to be in. I'm like, well, maybe. Oh. Yeah.
Did you notice what happened during the broadcast last night on ESPN? Did you notice they only used one camera for the majority of the game?
Okay, I'm so glad you brought this up. I kind of forgot about it for a moment. Did I notice that? Come on.
Did it bother you?
No.
Either did me. I'm like, can we just keep it on this camera for the whole game? I don't need replays. I don't need all this stuff. Replays are nice.
I wish they could have. I was on the phone with Courtney at that point, and I said, because she was driving, and so she's like, hey, how's the game going? I said, it's not going good for you. I said, and here's the other thing. It's not going good for ESPN either. They're stuck on like one camera and they can't do replays. And it's like a high angle. It's almost like from the broadcast booth. And she said the same thing. She's like, oh, is that bad? I go, no, I feel like I'm a little kid again. It felt like watching the gym. Yeah. Well, remember, not even that, Trav. Like when we were talking about the Minnesota gym the other day, when I think about that, there's all these memories from being a kid of watching Iowa play up there, and that dark, dingy, the court's way up high is the only thing lit up. But it also, for many years in those early 80s and those early memories, they were limited on cameras. They couldn't. There were only so many camera angles. There was only so many cameras they had in the building for some reason. And I can remember Minnesota for some reason that being one of those things of like, you watched most of the game from that angle. They still had replay. And there were a few moments like that during that, because I think during that was when the two things happened that were kind of odd, right? I think during that process was when Killian Torrey went down and they stopped play in the middle of that Kansas possession, and Bill Self was upset about it. And then within the same time frame there was when Darren Peterson had that deal where he went to dunk, missed it.
By the way, he's a player.
He's a baller. But that thing where, remember, he didn't get back on defense.
Yeah.
And they couldn't show the replay of it. They had only the one camera. So they had to like show us that one where he's still there and the camera angle's moving away from him. They just pause it right at the end. Like last known footage of.
Here's what I liked about the one camera angle last night. And I'm sure it drove a lot of people nuts. But I think my blood pressure was lower last night, because when you watch replays over and over again of potential fouls or potential close plays, you're like, ref's wrong. It's just like, yeah. Oh, we just kept playing. I literally felt like I was sitting at the top bleacher of the gym, just watching the game go back and forth. I'm like, this is the calmest I've been during a game in a long time.
I truthfully enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, you couldn't help but notice it. And they were, the sound was different. Did you ever look into what was the technical issue?
Well, they said they just a connectivity issue. They couldn't get everything in sync to where it could transmit from the camera to the truck to the satellite. So they got it fixed. I think late in the game they finally got it fixed, but it was like odd. It was just,
you folks got to remember, we're in the middle of Kansas, sending this out to the world.
I just imagine about like the 6-minute mark of the second half. Hey, is this supposed to be plugged in?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Somebody forget to plug this in.
It's like unmuting the mic. The guy saw the button and he went, "Hey guys, try it now."
Here's what I think happened.
It worked. What'd you do? I don't even know.
Here's what I think at halftime, they did the old-fashioned engineering trick. Okay, we're taking a break. We're going back to Bristol. Shut it off and turn it back on.
Well, it wasn't. They came back in the second half like that, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't.
It wasn't fixed right away.
It was during a break that they came back, and all of a sudden it was like, and we're happy to show you. They're like behind the free throw line, whatever. I don't know. I remember it was a different camera angle. They were real happy about that. I enjoyed it. There was something about it. Now, Trav, if that would have been a Hawkeye game, if that would have been a big Hawkeye game, would you have felt the same way?
Yeah, well, here's what I realized after watching. First of all, it didn't bother me, right? And I realized as I'm watching this, as long as I can watch the game, do I need 14 different camera angles?
Thank you.
I don't.
I like what you said there, like about the anxiety.
Yeah. And the just questioning everything. Now, where I would have had a problem with it is if it was a close game. I think what happens is the game, for the most part, was never in doubt for Kansas, right? I mean, they got off to the big lead, and it was never, you never thought, well, there's going to be a play. But let's say that was a close game, and they needed to go to the monitor, and they didn't have the replay. Oh. Sorry, folks. The ESPN feed is not working tonight, so therefore we cannot do a replay just based off of multiple camera angles. We're going to go from row 38, and we're going to zoom in the best we can, but that's all we got.
Zoom in.
But no, it didn't bother me. And you just kind of get used to it after a while. You're like, okay, we're just going back and forth.
Yeah, I liked it. It reminded me of being a kid, and for some reason those Iowa games at Minnesota. And maybe somebody can tell me. I'm holding on to an old comment from before the show even started, Trav, that I want to share with you because it took me down a little bit of a rabbit hole, and I got to play Justin for just a little bit here.
Did I screw up?
You didn't screw up. One of our listeners did. I don't know that. Well, I want to stop before I say that. I don't know that our listener screwed up. I just I'll explain what happened here. Okay, and again, we can take phone calls on Iowa State. I don't mean to derail that conversation.
No, you can derail it all you want.
Okay, sorry about that. So before we fired up, Driftless Iowan wrote in and said, on this day in Iowa history, Jesse James' gang robbed a bank in Corydon in Wayne County in 1871. And I saw that but you were just getting ready to fire up the opening of the show, and that comment came, and I thought, oh, I have the Des Moines Register from
1871. Damn, that's impressive.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I have the Des Moines Register or Des Moines Tribune from when John Dillinger robbed the bank in Mason City. Right? Dillinger's gang robbed. The headline says, I think Dillinger's gang robs Mason City. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get that. I'll show the Driftless Iowa, and he'll think that's super cool. So I just looked around where I thought it was. It must be back in storage. I don't have it out. Okay. And then my brain's turning, and I'm like, man, robbing a bank in the middle of January in Iowa, like that's a ballsy move from old Jesse James. I like, man, did he rob more than one bank in Iowa? Did Dillinger's gang rob more than one bank in Iowa? I think that Jesse James, one of them was more famous for train robberies, right? So anyway,
I believe so. Jesse James was a train robber, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
So, Driftless, this is what the Google machine told me, because I wanted to look up some stuff to find out. That Jesse James robbery happened in June. The Google machine tells me that Jesse James and the Abakok brothers robbed the bank in Corridon on June 3rd, 1871. And that was the only bank that they robbed in Iowa. And so I haven't been able, I saw some other comments flying in, and they were talking about, everybody was kind of sharing some old Iowa stories. And so anyway, I just thought that was the rabbit hole I went down right away.
Do you know who we need to turn this over to? Another social media influencer, the Iowa Investigator. We need to turn that over to that guy.
There's a couple of dudes right now that are doing like Iowa history. The Iowa Investigator, you said, Trav?
Yeah.
I need to start writing. These other ones.
He literally goes to a Wikipedia page and like reads the damn thing, and you're like, dude.
I think I've seen that guy, but God, you're such a dick. You're such a dick. Isn't he? Isn't there like? But he's got like video running in the background.
Yeah, he's got video and like
that's
background.
Kind of cool stuff.
Well,
I don't care if he's reading the Wikipedia page.
Either do I actually find some of the stuff, because there's so much stuff that is out there for common knowledge that we just don't take the time to go read ourselves. So it is kind of a nice refresher. But you know me, the cynic that I am, and according to you, I'm a dick. I always go, oh, dude, you're just reading it. Are you really investigating, or are you? Because when I hear the word investigation coming from my TV days, I see people that take weeks upon weeks investigating what's going on, what happened, getting to the bottom of it. Here I go. What's your investigation? Well,
and again, dude, I might be wrong. The thing that I'm really glad Driftless put that up there, because I was like, that's really cool. And it got my brain going on some other stuff and thinking about those things. And all of a sudden I was like, wait, Google says that happened in June. So anyway, and he said, oh, I must be off.
It's okay.
Thank you very much for posting it, though, because it got my brain going down that rabbit hole.
But I would say this: it probably popped up on one of his internet feeds, right? I used to go to his website on this day in history, and
I always liked the Today in History things.
Yeah,
we used to do Today in Sports History.
Yeah, we used to do that on the old show.
Yeah,
and like every other day during the summer, it was a Nolan Ryan stat.
So here's the deal with those Today in History things. They like everybody, they fall into a pattern. It's like, I can remember when I worked at WHO, we had one that we like subscribed to, right?
Yeah.
And it took about 2 weeks for us to realize we basically had subscribed to a Beatles This Day in History. A sports one. Trav, remember the one sports the sports one we did where it was always boxing? It was always Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
It was always and it took us about a month to go, oh, this is all boxing. Not all. They'd have the big stuff. And then, Nolan Ryan and Muhammad Ali. You take those two dudes and Wayne Gretzky, and you can fill a calendar.
You really can.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, just how many things that Nolan Ryan did over his career that were just worth mentioning. Yeah. Oh, Nolan Ryan threw his 1,000th no-hitter today. Now, I'm exaggerating there,
but he did throw 900. No, okay. The right around
7,
the Masters,
wasn't it 7 no-hitters?
He threw 7 no-hitters.
Yeah.
The most amazing stat with Nolan Ryan is not one stat. It's that he not only has the most strikeouts of all time, of any pitcher ever, he also has more walks than any pitcher ever. Nobody came close to standing on the mound and throwing the ball past guys like Nolan Ryan. Nobody's close.
And the guy was rarely hurt. I mean, just think about that. More strikeouts than anybody, more walks. Just think about the time. I mean, look at the number of games he threw more than 9 innings. And you're like, you can do that? Yeah, they didn't care about pitch count back then.
Took the Bo Jackson ball off the lip and pitched with the blood dripping down his... He was like 40 when he did that. Beat the shit out of Robin Ventura. He was like 40 when he did that.
I believe that's an on this day in sports history moment. Nolan Ryan fights Robin Ventura.
Yeah. January's tough. The today in sports history is going to be a lot of basketball upsets. Wilt Chamberlain, another real popular one.
Oh, Wilt's
stats, and I do mean on the court, are truly unbelievable. They really are. You look at the guy, the guy did.
His self-proclaimed one off the court is pretty unbelievable too.
That's
impossible. On this day in sports history, the sun came up for Iowa State fans, or will come up.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, Trav. You're right about that. And I have a feeling most Iowa State fans, again, I don't spend a lot of time on social media, but my gut would say most Iowa State fans look at it that way. Of like, man, we lost at Kansas. Didn't show up, played a bad game. Kansas played outstanding.
Played its best game of the year. That is and this is a badge of honor. Before tonight, the signature win, or before last night, the signature win for Kansas was Tennessee. Tennessee's a top 25 team. Last night was Kansas's signature win. It's just a reminder that when you're the number 2 team in the country, you have a target on your back. You are going to get home crowds that want to pull off the upset, that want to say, hey, we beat this team. You are now the hunted. You don't get to do the hunting anymore. You are the hunted. And Iowa State found that out last night. Again, losing to Kansas, 84-63. Still hasn't won at Allen Fieldhouse since 2017. 2017, you got to go back to. So,
Courtney's daughter is a freshman at Kansas, and she would like to, over the next couple of years, get down to an Iowa State-Kansas game. Is that something that's possible?
Yeah, it is. Now, you're probably going to have to pay a premium for the seats because, I mean, every game is sold out at Fog Allen. Is Courtney's daughter going to the games? Because those students get in line early.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think she's been to a couple. I think she's been to, but I don't think it's like a religious thing for her. No, there's something. Courtney's more of a sports fan than her daughters.
Hey, folks, if you want variety and value, make your next stop Central City Liquors. Locals rave about their selection and the staff who knows their stuff. From favorite everyday bottles to rare finds, they're stocked and ready. Plus, you'll always find great deals on your favorite drinks, mixers, and more. Central City Liquors. You don't have to be a local. You can drive in from out of town to experience Central City Liquors. In fact, we highly encourage it. Drive 100, 200, 300 miles to take in Central City Liquors.
Trav, if you want to experience Des Moines, if you want to get a concentrated feel for downtown Des Moines, for nitty-gritty Des Moines, for the Des Moines I love, 5 minutes in Central City Liquors. Back in the car and go, that was a ride.
When you walk in, you tell Brian, you tell the Todd father, you tell Dana, hey, we heard about you on The Rush. And they'll go, so? What are you buying?
Yeah, all right.
It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage, and that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Oh, did see you there. Happy New Year for myself and everyone else over here at Land Rover Des Moines. My personal New Year's resolution is to take better care of my car, and that starts with an oil change. Come on down for $25 off your service. You can give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Hi, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Are you on the verge of taking that next big step in your relationship? Our latest collection of engagement rings is here to make your moment even more memorable. From stunning classics to modern designs, each ring is meticulously crafted to symbolize your unique love story. Looking for something truly one of a kind? Explore our custom engagement ring options and let us bring your vision to life. Visit our showroom in Ankeny and let's start creating the ring of your dreams together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
When you go to purchase your next home, two things you need to do. One is call Ross Peterson to be your real estate agent with Agency Iowa. He's going to take care of you. He's going to save you money. And you need to get a loan. And the best place to get that loan is Gary Presnell. He's a mortgage banker with Northwest Bank, financing residential homes for the past 25 years. In fact, he's the best in Iowa to do it the last 7 years. Get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less. Can happen after hours, on weekends. If you want a trusted local mortgage professional with years of experience to handle the largest purchase you're ever going to make, and it is, and it's an investment, you can trust Gary to take care of you. Call him at 515-975-6767. You got any closings?
For the overwhelming majority of people, it's the largest investment you'll ever make in your life.
That's fair. I shouldn't say. There are business owners who, dude, I just leverage. I mortgage my house. I mortgage my kids. I mortgage everything to buy this business.
I didn't mean that in a way to correct what you said at all. I just meant it as a way to reinforce that. Like that's an absolute fact. I was thinking about it during the break about this house, getting a new roof put on it, and I'm like, man, once I do that, get the hell out of here.
Well, it raises values.
Absolutely. Well, it helps for the resale. It does all sorts of stuff. I mean, So, yeah. It's get some people you trust. Gary's awesome. You were going to ask if we have any closings coming up. Gary and I have one coming up on Friday. First time home buyer. Help this young man look for houses for a couple weeks and got him under contract. He's going to be living in an awesome spot, right where he wanted to be. Man, it's hard to find rural spots in the city. There's still a few. There's still a few of those acre lots that, you got a tiny little ranch house sitting on them. And we found one for him, and it's a perfect spot. So closing that on Friday.
As a real estate agent, I'm going to ask you this, and it's not that you are in the market for a home right now. You're fairly happy where you're at, but have you ever walked into a home and went, oh yeah, this is for me?
Yeah, absolutely. See, yeah, and Trav, it's so funny because I tell buyers, especially if you're in a subject to sale situation, where you've got to sell your home in order to get into one. This is the hardest part of what we're doing today. You cannot mentally move into this place because we got a lot of hurdles to get over to get to where you own this house. You can be excited, but that's different than mentally moving into a place, because once you do that and you don't have it, there's an emotional thing that happens, and it's really sad and depressing. And so that you got to stop people. You see it, man. People walk in and they're like, oh, my couch is here. You're like, yep, it all fits. It's all cool. Don't mentally be moving into this place because we got a lot of steps to get through. And I've made that mistake, dude. I've been in houses and been like, oh, yeah, Audrey's bed would fit in that corner. And think of how much fun Eli'd have down. We could do this here. And you're like, all right, on to the next place. Let's go. That happens a few times. Not a lot.
Maybe look at the listing price and go, yep, but we're moving on. We're moving on.
Well, you know that before you walk in the door, luckily. But
would you ever move to like Van Meter or out and just go a little bit farther out of Des Moines? Are you just a blue blood Des Moines guy and that's where you're going to be?
That was my dream. I wanted to live out in the country. I mean, I hate to say everybody's dream, but most people are like, man, if I had the money and I could just buy 10 acres and live on the outskirts of town, which, by the way, got a property. If you're looking, if you're looking for one of those, I got one. And it's if I had the means to be able to do that, and more importantly, right now, Trav, it's the roots, as you know. Like I'm too vested in where I am right now. The kid, I'm not moving Eli from Roosevelt for these last couple of years. I love the school that Audrey is in, so I'm going to stay in this area more because of that. And my dad, and my dad's got 10 years left, right? I'm hanging out with him until that happens. My brother and sister, I love being around them.
You just perked your dad's ears up. He goes, 10? You're only giving me 10?
I guarantee you, if Dad heard that, Dad's like, no, because Dad was like, shit, he thinks I'm making it 10 more years? That's what my dad thought.
Oh, man. Now, Ross is in a fairly good mood this morning. You'd never know it because he made chicken last night. He made chicken. And, folks, I think he might have undercooked it a little bit because he woke up this morning. Dr. Travis Justice, has diagnosed Ross with salmonella this morning because you were throwing up all over the place. You're pooping all over the place. And this is after you've proclaimed, man, I'm killing it on the stove. I'm killing it on
lately,
the stove.
Dude, the kitchen, I've been baking the kitchen. I've been built to ass at the kitchen all week. Got the beef tallow, been cutting up the potatoes, frying my own
See,
French
I thought
fries
the beef tallow you were putting on your face. That's why you don't have any wrinkles.
No, dude, are the wrinkles?
I think it's the beef tallow you're putting on your face.
Kitchen or catcher's mitt most days. Anyway, the beef tallow. I've not been putting the beef tallow on my face, which I didn't know was a thing until I told you, man, I bought some beef tallow. And you went, for your face? I'm like, what the fuck? No, not for my face. Who would do that? And you're like, oh, it's a whole industry. You can either buy beef tallow.
I should Google it.
You can either buy beef tallow $6 a jar that you can cook with for weeks, or you can buy it for $40 a jar and rub it on your face. Your choice. I'm assuming the face balm is different than the beef tallow.
I think it has some essential oils in it and stuff like that. But it's still majority beef tallow, which if you just buy straight beef tallow, just go spend $6.99. Don't get a cute little jar that says wrinkle-free cream that's gonna charge you $49.99 on a monthly subscription.
Balm. If it says balm, buckle up. So anyway, I've been frying the potatoes. That's been great. Last night did chicken and rice, and had like a lemon pepper thing on the chicken, right? And I don't know, maybe I made a mistake here, guys. You tell me, because I was frying it in the skillet, and I had 2 big pieces of chicken. Obviously, it's me and the 2 kids. And so what I prefer to do, rather than have like the 2 big pieces of steak or 2 big pieces of chicken, I cut things into pieces. I usually cut them up before I'm cooking them, but with this, I started the chicken. I got them cooked. I got both sides kind of cooked for sitting in the skillet for a couple of minutes. And then it occurred to me like, oh, I probably should have cut these up. So I just grabbed my knife and my tongs and cut the chicken up in the skillet, and then made sure I was cooking all sides of the chicken. You know what I'm saying?
So did you cube it? Did you cube the chicken?
I cubed it, basically, as a way to look at it.
Using cast iron?
I was using cast iron. Should I not use cast iron for chicken?
No, I think you can.
Oh, Dusty says I'm letting all the juice out when I do that. I'll tell you what, it was really good. It tasted really good, but probably because I ate it raw.
And got salmonella and puked and pooped this morning.
I haven't puked.
Just saying, that's what happened.
Dusty, by the way, Eli's wrestling at East Thursday night.
Do you get all nostalgic when you walk in your alma mater? Like you walk in wearing Roosevelt stuff,
memories
and you're like,
there's memories that fly back. And by the way, I don't have any Roosevelt gear. I have maybe a couple of things around the house. Dude, you know I'm not a gear guy. I've got a few Hawkeye, Tiger Hawk things. But yeah, when I walk in there, man, it brings back memories. Some fun ones, some weird ones. Don't have too many bad memories in that gym.
There's probably not too many people. Is there anybody that still works at the school when you were there?
Oh boy.
Well,
you
got to
remember
your eyes just like rolled back in your head, and I'm like, oh, he's like thinking about this.
And remember, I looked up and to the left. So if you ever want to know if I'm telling the truth or not, that's where my memory socket is. I don't think so, Travis. Dude, you can remember, my 30-year anniversary is coming up.
Well, you're old. You're old, dude.
My 30. What do they call that? Not 30 not anniversary.
Your class reunion.
Reunion. My 30-year reunion. Words are hard. Some of them good, some of them bad, dude. I have a lot of now. There's even memories flowing through my head. Fights that I saw that were crazy basketball stuff. I remember seeing Ricky Davis, the kid from Davenport that played at Iowa and then went to the NBA. He was like 15, and they came to play an AAU game. Him and Dean Oliver were on the same team, and I saw Ricky Davis do a dunk live that at 16, some 15, 16 years old. That one of the most athletic things I've ever seen in my life.
You're like, you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Working a table at a wrestling tournament. And it was a district tournament to see who gets to go to state. And Southeast Polk was wrestling there. And a kid that I went to school with named Josh Hansen, his dad is Lance Hansen, who's a big broker in Central Iowa. A lot of people know the name Lance Hansen or Josh Hansen. Love that family. They're amazing people. Admirable guys. And Josh's son qualified for state at the table I was working, and Josh and Lance were sitting in the front row. And that's one of my favorite memories, is watching my friend celebrate that moment and experience that moment, and his son getting up, and that's a cool moment. There's a lot of fun memories in that place, yeah.
So the college football playoff championship is coming up on Monday. You have Indiana taking on Miami. And during this chaos, we forget that the college football playoff and the future of it still has not been decided. They have until January 23rd to decide what the college football playoff looks like, whether you're going to expand, where do you stay at 12, you go to 16. The Big Ten and the SEC hold all the power here. And the SEC and the Big Ten are at a stalemate. And the SEC wants a 16-team playoff, the 11 plus 5. The Big Ten wants a 24-team playoff. I kind of gravitate towards the 24-team playoff. You'll have a hard time convincing me that more is not better. Now, the Big Ten, Ross, is throwing a lifeline in the negotiations, which not everybody's on board with. But they're saying, hey, as a stopgap, they'll agree to a 16-team expansion with the condition that this thing expands to 24 within 3 years with only one automatic qualifier. The only automatic qualifier would be the highest-ranked Power 4 team, which they would get in anyway, right? So, but they're saying that's more enticing to the SEC when you open it all the way. Instead of saying, hey, here's guaranteed spots, the SEC could get 6 teams in a 2014 playoff. And what you would do is you'd have basically the number one team is the guaranteed spot, and the rest of the seedings are the college football rankings. Do you like that format over the 11 plus 5?
Yeah, I'm with you, Trav. More is better to a point. I don't want to. It doesn't need to be.
I don't want 32 and 30. Yeah. I'm not saying that.
Right, to a point, and maybe that's the right thing. I've always thought, ever since Mark Farley started screaming about it a decade ago, and Berger just wrote it in the chat. Man, my words are. It's the salmonella.
It is.
Why not the D2 model? More is better to a point. I'm okay with that. I completely agree with what you said. The Big Ten's pitch to the SEC is you're going to be okay. Man, why do we let why? I know why. It's such a frustrating thing to let sink into your head. Why do we let the SEC have all this power? Why do the Big Ten and SEC get to call all these shots? Oh, that's right, because they signed the big contracts, because they have the money, and right now they've got the best teams, or they can at least present themselves as having the best teams. I mean, the SEC.
But the Big Ten's on equal footing here, and everybody's saying the D2 model. D2 has a 32-team playoff. I don't want 32 teams in Division I. I think FCS in the 24-team model is a better
That's the
model.
Thank you, FCS and the 24-team model, and maybe that's what the Berger meant when he wrote that, but I'm not sure.
And Ross, here's what I like about the 24-team playoff that the Big Ten is saying. Okay, we'll go to a 16-team model, wean yourself off of it, go to the 24-team model, and we get rid of these conference championship games. So basically, you go in and you start the playoffs that first week of December or the second week. They're saying play the Army-Navy game first week of December. When the conference, then the second week of December, you're right into the playoffs. If we can shorten this calendar somehow, some way, I'm all for it.
Wasn't it Dan Lanning that proposed the other day that the national championship shouldn't be played past January
1? He was like,
was January 1?
Yeah, he's like, what? He goes, we're talking about college football here, folks. We're going into the middle of January.
That's
to play the championship game.
As though things like logic are going to prevail. Good try, Dan Lanning. That's cute. Huh. Could you pull that off, Trav? Could you start the playoff? I can't do the math fast enough in my head, even with a 24-team playoff.
With a 16-team playoff, you definitely could with a 16-team playoff. And if you start playing right away, got rid of those conference. Why do they keep conference championship games around? Because they want the money.
Oh, dude, of course.
They want the money. And to me, the championship games I've grown tired of them. They were great when they first started. You're like, yeah, this is good.
When they mattered and you had to win them to go on. And then all of a sudden we were like, that didn't happen. And it was, you don't even have to play in the conference championship game and you can get.
Yeah, when it was a 4-team playoff and it really, really mattered, you're like, okay, I get, because that was almost a play-in game to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
It had a playoff feel to it. Now they're like, all right, well, even if we lose, we're going to be in. And hell, if you're Miami, you can get all the way to the championship game and not win your conference. Not even be in your conference championship game.
Not even be in the conference championship game to still get the spoils of me. So get rid of those. I've seen a lot of people, Trav, that are lamenting the loss of the bowl system.
It's still there. We just played the Chick-fil-A.
Dude, it ain't what. Come on.
But
come on. This is like saying, well, Sears' doors are still open.
We've crossed that threshold. It's over. You can't go back to it. You can't.
Is there a way to incorporate the two? Maybe I'm just trying to keep everybody happy, and we can't do that. You are right. There is no way to go to reverse the train. You're right. Okay. All right. I for a minute I was trying to imagine in my head some way that we recapture the nostalgia and fun of the bowl system while also having a playoff. You can't do it. The only way to do that is to basically what you have to do. First couple rounds of this tournament have to be home games, and they're going to have corporate sponsors. And then maybe you have the semifinal and final. But that's never going to happen. There's way too much money tied up with having these teams travel all across the world, or all across the country at least, play in neutral sites in Dallas and Las Vegas. And there's way too much money. And look at Indiana fans. They're clamoring. They're climbing over each other to try to spend thousands of dollars to get to this game.
They're going into debt. There are fans going into debt to take this season in, right? I mean, they're like, I'll sell the farm. I'll sell plasma for as long as I need to sell plasma for.
You ever done that?
I have not done the plasma.
I did never do the plasma.
I don't like needles. I don't give blood. We have blood drives at our work every quarter. Like, you giving blood today? No, I'm not. I had a bad experience when I was a student at Grandview, and I did a blood drive. I went to a blood drive at Grandview, and it's like you go into the bookstore and they're taking blood there, and they've got the orange juice, and this woman could not find my vein, and I bet I got poked like 20, what seemed like 20 times. Yeah, it was probably like 2 or 3, but when you're getting poked and they can't find your vein, it's like, that sucked. It's a traumatic experience. I'm like, okay, I have to go to the dentist. I don't like going to the dentist, but I have to go to the dentist to make sure that I have oral health. I don't have to give blood. When you make it a choice, you're like, well, I don't really have to. I know I should, but it's like, I'm really not into the pain. Not into you not finding my veins. When I go for my yearly checkup, like, the phlebotomist comes in, I'm like, God, find the vein in the first time. They'll take that rubber strap and they about cut the circulation off in my arm just so they can find it. It's like, ugh.
I'm very lucky, Trav, in that I'm super skinny, so my veins pop out like a crack.
Yeah, and I'm fat and mine don't.
But I don't like it. I don't like any of it. We did a blood drive with Wells Fargo one time when I worked there at the call center, and I got all the way to the point of being in the van with the bus with 9 of my coworkers, and they go through this list of stuff. They're like, all right, if just listen to this, and at the end of it, you can respond. If in the last 30 days you have used intravenous drugs, if in the last 30 days you have, used cocaine, if in the last 30 days you've had anal sex, there's this list of stuff. And then at the end, they're like, is the answer yes to any of those questions? And I saw the exit lane. And I said, what if the answer is yes to one of those questions? And they're like, then you're going to have to leave. And I said, my answer is yes to one of those questions.
They didn't go, well, which one?
They didn't know. Because it was like, if you've got all these venereal diseases too, you know what I mean? If you've got herpes, if you've got there's all sorts of things you can't do if you want to give blood.
You didn't have herpes though, right?
No.
Okay.
I didn't have. The answer was no to the questions. I just didn't like the needle, and so I was okay of dealing with the shame of everybody there thinking, because most people there knew I'm Ross and I like to party. So
I'm Ross and I like to party. I like it. So they have till January 23rd. They're going to be talking as they gather in South Florida. And the egos in that room, I can just imagine, from the Big Ten to the SEC to Brett Yormark, who wants to be a player in the worst way in the Big 12, but still can't because he's not on equal playing field with the Big Ten. And Jim Phillips from the ACC who says, we got a team in the championship. Give me a seat at the table. Big Ten and SEC hold this whole thing down.
Yeah, right.
They don't
Even
care
the
about
SEC
you.
who... I see more and more people kind of coming to this realization of like, oh my God, they're not the dominant conference. I mean, they might have a lot of money, but man, they're not putting together great teams.
Right now, the Big Ten is the dominant conference. The Big Ten is the premier conference in football. Now, there's going to be ebbs and flows. That's going to go back and forth. You can expect that. But right now, the numbers prove it. The national championships over the last couple of years prove it, that the Big Ten is the preeminent conference in college football. Will it be that way forever? No. But this is why the Big Ten is holding on to what it wants, because it's a power broker at the table, and it can hold out as long as it wants. Meaning this thing could stay at 12 and nothing changes. But when they start seeing the money that's going to be proposed for this, but the reason they need to make a decision is because of television. Right? And 16 teams will cause more play-in games. 24 teams won't.
How does 24 break down? The top... I'd
have to go look at the bracket, but they're just... That was their argument this morning was, 16 would maybe have more play-in games. You'd probably use those conference championship games as play-in games, stuff like that. It's just like
with 24, if you gave 8 teams a bye, then you would have 16 teams playing in the opening round, which would leave 8 winners. Oh, sorry, Tyler. Did you see my East Side math trickling like a creek there? Top 8 bye, bottom 16 play. Tyler had it a long time ago, probably like all of you did. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. And
7 and
selfishly, the reason I want 24, that way, I would say on most years, I want to believe this, Iowa State would get in the playoff. Or at least every once in a while, they'd get in the playoff. Would have got in this year.
Can you give me 10 months to verify that statement?
Sure.
I agree with half of it.
Iowa?
I want to wait and see. And
now there's going to be a rebuilding place for Iowa State. I get that.
And yes, and I think from some of the talent looks like they're bringing in, I hope it's a fantastic. Expectations are low, have a fantastic year. And this Iowa State fan base will certainly support it and love all of it. When you say, if it's a 24-team playoff, what does that mean for us in the state of Iowa? My reaction here on January 14th, 2026 is, that means Iowa's going to be in the playoff most years. And let me wait and see what I think about Iowa State. I have no idea. And I think anybody that jumps in I like their chances because the Big 12 right now is manageable, and you can get to the top of that conference, and the conference is deserving of having more of a spot at the table than what they have right now. And what I think a lot of people think, what I think a 24-team playoff would look like. Because my gut says, like you've laid out, 24-team playoff really just means more SEC and Big 10 teams.
But there would be more than one ACC team. There would be more than one Big 12 team.
Yes. You wouldn't have to win the Big 12 championship in order to get there.
Join the frenzy with the Iowa Lottery and the Iowa Wolves and the Minnesota Timberwolves. You could win Iowa Wolves courtside seats or a VIP experience with the Minnesota Timberwolves, including watching warm-ups courtside, plus $1,000 cash and a night in Minneapolis. This promotion is from the Iowa Lottery, and entries are open now. Here's what you have to do. Take your non-winning Cash Frenzy scratch tickets and enter those into your Iowa Lottery VIP club account for a chance to win. 2 entry periods. The first one is going on right now through January 26th. And you could actually win courtside seats to an Iowa Wolves game or a VIP Lotto or Zone courtside experience with the Iowa Wolves. All entries not selected for those winners will be eligible to win the grand prize drawing for the Minnesota Timberwolves VIP weekend package. So make sure to pick up your Cash Frenzy tickets. Take your non-winning tickets, enter them in your VIP club account. If you don't have a VIP club account, it's free. Just go to iowalottery.com/VIP. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
More Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening at the new Fongs in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Start spreading the news, cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
New year, new lease on life, or on a new Nissan Kicks. Right now, we have a $299 per month lease on our 2026 Kicks SB. Also, take advantage of 0% financing on our 2026 Rogues and Muranos and our remaining 2025 Pathfinders. And we are thrilled to have the all-new 2026 Nissan Sentra on our lot. This sporty compact sedan is ready to carry you through the new year in style. For more information, stop into our showroom or visit us online at willisnissan.com.
For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Championship teams are built on consistency, and so is Willis Automotive. That's why they power the Rush Radio Show from sales to service. They show up every day ready to deliver for you. Before your next big automobile purchase, do your homework and buy your car at willisauto.com. Willis Automotive, driving the show, driving your next ride. If you're listening on the audio stream this morning at therushladio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, and the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube, give this channel a subscription. We like you subscribers. We'll be in your feed every single morning when you wake up. And, of course, give this video a like and start leaving your comments in the comments section. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. We started the show in hour number one talking about Kansas blowing out Iowa State last night. A humbling loss, not the end of the world, 84-63. First loss of the season for the Iowa State Cyclones. Turnovers, poor shooting in the first half. It was just a downhill spiral from the beginning, not life-ending. Iowa Ross is in the middle of a 2-game losing streak, and they're going on the road for 2 straight games. They're going to Mackey Arena to play number 5 Purdue. Trivia question for you.
Boy.
When was the last time Iowa won in West Lafayette?
Man, was that the game that happened right after the Rose Bowl?
You have a very good memory.
I remember where I was.
January 2nd, 2016.
Yeah.
Is the last time they won at Mackey Arena.
Yep. I remember that game. Do you know where I watched it?
California?
The LA airport.
LAX.
That was a long time ago. That was kind of a new thing to be able to watch a game on your phone live like that. And it was Hawkeye fans. Yeah.
It
So
was probably buffering left and right going, come on.
Awful at the airport.
Yes.
Yeah, remember that game. Surrounded by Hawkeye fans. So that, again, it was, man, wow, what a weird thing. Iowa State just went through their deal. lose Campbell. Know you're going to lose Rocco. In the middle of that, mired in that swamp, you beat Purdue. Iowa, Rose Bowl, mired in the swamp. So that was a miserable trip.
Because Christian McCaffrey is still running.
Let's say his name. Sitting in that airport and watching that game, it was like, what's the right, when you're just in misery and you're like, okay, cool. Well, at least that didn't suck. That's why Iowa State fans felt that way about Purdue, about that. Like, you bring it up and they're like, yeah. Huh.
You got to go back to 2016, the last time, so 10 years since they've won at Mackey Arena. Not going to be an easy game. Purdue is solid. They were humbled early in the season by Iowa State. They were the number one team in the country at the time. It's their only loss of the season. Matt Painter starts 4 seniors. All 4 of these guys average double figures. And Brandon Smith is a mofo. You look at Brandon Smith and you go, you're not a player. And then you go, oh, he's a player. 14 points, 10 assists a game. The matchup between him and Bennett Sturts is going to be fun tonight. But Purdue also has size. And what do we know that Iowa does not contend well with? It does not contend well with size. It'd be interesting to see if Ben McCollum, and I know he didn't start Tavion Banks because he was sick, but Tavion Banks played really well coming off the bench against Illinois. Do you go with Fulgaris tonight because he's 6'10", gives you a little bit more
size?
And Illinois was big. Illinois was a big team. And Fulgaris is good. I think I like him. He's coming along. But this is not going to be an easy game.
You're asking, do you start Banks or Fulgaris? I don't know. It's not an easy game. Neither one of them is. It's not like a magic that's going to be the magic answer. Man, we'll see. I think the Hawks can play with this team. When this group that we've seen this year, and at the beginning of the year, I would have said, man,
you're an optimist, man. You are an optimist.
Trav, I've seen this team play that way. And now for 40 minutes against a team like this, and again, I don't think they're going to go in and win this game tonight. What I do expect them to do is expect them to compete and keep it close. And, maybe even Trav, like,
what's close for you? If they lose by 15, is that it?
Like if the Hawks play like Iowa State did last night, you know what I mean? Where this game's over at halftime, but in the second half, they show these signs of life and fight and things. Am I going to, or what's my take going to be tomorrow morning? How would I feel about that tonight?
I think it's all how they look, right?
Exactly,
I mean, because you can
how
lose by
out.
you can lose by 15 and go, they played well, or you can lose by 15 and go, they played like crap.
You could lose by 15, and it's a 4-point game with 4 minutes to play, and you could lose by 15. That's the way basketball is, especially so. I want to see how it plays out, and I expect it to. My hope is that it is a really good game, that the Hawkeyes show fight, and because I've seen this group of guys be able to play at a level. And by the way, I've also watched Purdue shit the bed
once.
But I watched it.
Driftless Iowan dude from Iowa is right, and I was about ready to get to this, but I'll give him credit for putting it in the chat. And that is, Sturts is the difference either way,
yes.
Right? And meaning, as you go through this Big Ten season, they are going to clamp down on Bennett Sturts.
It is one of those best examples of as he goes, so they go. Completely right. Whoever that was that wrote that, I'd say is completely right. If Bennett Sturts is having a great game, they're going to compete.
And this puts more pressure on the other guys, because if you get other guys hitting shots, making plays, that's going to open up Bennett Sturts, because right away they're going to key on a Bennett Sturts. Say, that's the guy. Let other people beat you. Once they start to do that, it may open it up for Bennett Sturts. But if Bennett Sturts is held to 10 or 12 points again, that's going to be hard for Iowa to get out of Mackey Arena with a win. I'm not expecting a win. I don't have high expectations. The thing that makes me happy about tonight's game, it starts at 6:30 instead of 8.
Yeah, I'm not going to be falling asleep in the second half.
I know I can stay up for the whole thing.
Dude, listen, that happened last night. Iowa State's making that run in the second half. I was sitting up eating a late night snack in bed, and I'm watching that game, and they got it down to like 12, 11, 10, seems like, right? And then I had one of those like time lapse moments where I swear to God, I blinked and I heard the announcers go, and just like that, it's back to 22 for Kansas. And I was like, oh, I'm falling asleep. But game's over. So good night. Thank God. Early tip. Let me get through.
I actually made it to like 10:30 last night, which is really late for me.
That's real late for you.
Ross, I watched so much college basketball last night. It was insane. I had multi-view up. I watched the Indiana-Michigan State game, and it was a good game. It was tied at think about it. It was tied at 53 in the second half. Tied at 53. Michigan State won 81-55.
Wow.
Was it 55 or did they get more in it? I think they might have gotten.
Apparently, you're making mistakes left and right because the chat just blew up with a correction on the game time tonight as well.
I saw 6:30 on. Hold on.
My ESPN thing is showing BTN 5:30.
Oh, it was the East. I looked at it online, so it's CBSSports.com that always does Eastern times. Hey, by the way, 5:30, even better.
Right.
Even better. What do you think about it? You would think like ESPN, their website adapts to where your location is. And I have my location on my computer. Do you find it weird that like CBS doesn't adapt their...
Yeah, dude, don't beat yourself up for it. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up.
No, it was 81-60. So, but still, it was tied at 53. They lost 81-60. And it was tied at 53 like at the midpoint. I mean, they just clamped down.
Yeah. Run out of talent going down the backstretch.
Then I watched the Wisconsin-Minnesota game. Wow. What a game.
That one, Wisconsin hit a buzzer beater to win?
Well, so Minnesota hits a 3 to tie with 6 seconds to go. Wisconsin gets the ball back, does not take a timeout. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. At the buzzer, 3-pointer to win it. And it was just one of those dramatic endings. I'm not attached to Minnesota, not attached, but you're attached to the moment. You're like, oh, that was a hell of an ending. Think about Wisconsin. You just beat Michigan. Now you get that win over Minnesota. Gary Gard, how do they just be consistent over year over year over year? You're like, it's one of those teams you're just like, how? It's not like they play an exciting style of basketball. They're just good.
They've always got some 6'8" white guy that's just some gym rat. Our buddy Ken Payne, he's huge Badger guy. Huge Badger.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, dude. Do you know anybody? And I'm not. This is not. That was going to sound really bad. I didn't mean it to. That's why I stopped myself. I was about to say, do you even know anybody from Wisconsin? I
worked there for a couple of years.
I know. What I meant to say was people from Wisconsin, everybody is a Badgers fan. Everybody is a Brewers fan. Everybody's a Bucks fan.
Everybody's a Packers fan.
Everybody's a Packers fan. It's weird. When I go to like family gatherings up there and your cousins are all standing around and sports get brought up, it's not
hey there, Ross, don't you know, dear? Hey.
It's not like it is here in Iowa where you go around the group and there's an Iowa fan, an Iowa State fan, a Nebraska fan, and I didn't mean to point at you when I said Nebraska fan, but there's, you know what I mean? We have an assortment. We all grew up with a guy. My best friend's a Padres fan. We all grew up with a guy that had a different favorite team than we did. In Wisconsin, they all.
So let me ask you this. So in Western Iowa, where I grew up, there's a lot of Nebraska fans. Even though Iowa City is on the eastern side, as you get closer to the border, are there Illinois fans? And as you get up towards Elkader and that northeast Iowa. Are there Wisconsin fans up there? And AJ from Clear Lake, if you're listening, you live up there at Clear Lake. As you get closer to the border, are there Minnesota fans?
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing? Because in Western Iowa, it's a thing.
But that's got to be a winning tradition. Like
media market, because
this is absolutely my guess, because all I know is Des Moines. My guess is North and East don't deal with it nearly as much. Now, when you say Northeast with Wisconsin, that would seem possible, that you've got some guys our age that grew up watching Ron Dane and just fell in love with that for some reason. We're, married a girl from Wisconsin, went to Wisconsin. That would seem more likely to me. I've never met somebody that truly. I've met people that were wearing Minnesota gear
and said, I'm not a fan.
I've never met a Minnesota fan. Dusty just typed that in too. Nobody's a Minnesota fan. And in Illinois, the same thing. I've never really met anybody that was like, oh yeah, I grew up in Iowa, but I'm an Illinois fan or a Missouri fan.
Missouri. Yeah, and that's fair. But you would think as you get closer to Burlington and down there that you might be a Missouri fan. But no. Well, we're going to find out now, because he heard his name. He picked up the phone. He gave us a call. AJ up in Clear Lake.
Oh, what's up,
You're
AJ?
up there on the border now. Any Minnesota fans up there, AJ?
I would say there are about 2 out of the 180 people that I consider my very good friends. So they're very few and far between. So
and AJ, even those two, are they the type of fan?
Not as many as you think. Yep.
Even those two fans, AJ, are they the type of fan that, like, rub it in your face, or when they get a big recruit, will be like, yeah. I mean, are they that type of fan?
No, because I taught this family. I taught both of their sons and coached them, and they both went to Iowa. They both went to the University of Iowa because they didn't want to pay out-of-state tuition. So they're not that hard. They love the Gophers, but they're right with the Hawk. I mean, their boys both go to Iowa, so they're great young men. So yeah, but they love their Gophers. They still will wear their Gopher stuff when they play Iowa, which drives me nuts.
But they'll take advantage of that in-state tuition.
Yeah, exactly. And then, my wife is from Northeast Iowa, from Austin, south of Decorah there, Ross, and I've been with her for 31 years, and I have never encountered a Wisconsin fan.
Everybody's
in the Triplets area.
Everybody's saying that same thing, AJ. A lot of people in the chat are saying that, like that. The fandom doesn't cross the river.
To me, it's 90% Hawkeye, 10% Iowa State up there. So that's my personal opinion. Yeah. 90-10. So yep. So I just want to say I'm glad you mentioned me, and I wanted to give you my info that I had, and have a great day, boys.
Thanks, AJ.
Hey, AJ, wait. AJ, wait.
Hold on.
Where are you at, and what you cleaning?
Yeah. Sure.
What you cleaning today?
Where are you at?
Actually, I'm delivering some Corky's cookout seasoning, which my mom and dad run, and I kind of work for them once in a while. And then I'm actually painting inside today, so I'm not out fogging today. The temperature dropped a lot, so
listen.
I actually painted outside though yesterday, boys, on a house. So that was crazy.
One of the fishing boys wants me to ask you about getting a slip ready for us. So the fishing trip to Clear Lake going to be in the future here, okay?
Oh, buddy, could we do a remote? Like, could you do it at my office, and then like I'll get you out on the lake? So that'd be awesome.
You provide the boat for free? Absolutely.
Yep. We actually have a cabin. Like, my parents have a cabin that's not on the lake, but it's kind of like, it looks like you're in you walk in, you wouldn't know it, but you walk in it and it's like you're in a cabin in northern Minnesota, Rock. So I think you'd dig it. So okay.
You just made his day, AJ.
You made my heart smile, AJ. You just made my.
Right.
He doesn't want to poop anymore. Doesn't want. You
just cured my salmonella. That's the.
Well, get that, buddy. Eat some cheese today. So take care of yourself.
Thanks, AJ.
Care,
all right.
So because I would say from Council Bluffs probably all the way to Atlantic, all the way down to Bedford, all the way up to Sioux City, there are Nebraska fans on that side, just because the media market's dominated by it.
Yeah.
So
it's media market. It's what coverage do you get?
Yeah.
It's the Braves on TBS and the Cubs on WGN. It's what's available and what's fed to you.
Speaking of Nebraska, they are the best basketball team in the Big Ten right now. They just keep doing it. Last night, they pummeled Oregon 90-55. Price Sanford, former Hawkeye, 28 points last night, 7 3-pointers. He went off. And it's just, you watch Fred. Fred has a different intensity to him. I keep thinking this team, they're not that good every time I watch them. And it's not like they've beaten slouches. They've beaten Wisconsin. They've won at Illinois. They've beaten Michigan State. Beat Oregon, which isn't that good, but you still...
Dude. Beating the teams in front of them. Beating the teams that are on the schedule. I feel like we had done this before, Trav. Not hard to find them on the standings. They're right at the top.
Dusty says, best team in the Big Ten? Right now, by record, yes. And the fact that they have beaten Michigan State and won at Illinois, I think gives them some street cred.
I remember we looked at this
Michigan has a loss.
We looked at this after they beat Michigan State. I thought we did this on the air. We looked ahead and we said, wow, they don't play a really good team for a while. Still the case, man. Here's their next 3. At Northwestern, Washington, and at Minnesota. Very likely they're going to be 20-0.
Unbelievable.
20-0, Trav. Going into a game at Michigan on January 27th. Then they get at Michigan and they play Illinois. Now, I would say the same thing about Nebraska that you said about Iowa State for a long time. They're not going to go undefeated.
Nope.
And those might be the 2 games that you see them get tripped up. And some of them, they might lose one between now and then. None of those are gimmies. At Northwestern, Washington, and Minnesota. I mean, at Northwestern, Washington at home, they're winning both of those.
You would think.
At Minnesota, they're probably winning there.
But Minnesota's tough at home. They gave Wisconsin all they could handle last night.
Yeah.
The thing about Nebraska that drives you crazy is, I know there's a lot of people who don't like Nebraska. That's fine. But if you watch them, it's one of those teams that are fun to watch. Do you know what I mean? How you're like, I don't want to like this, but God, they're fun to watch just because they're unselfish. There's not a superstar on that team. And Price Sanford has been maybe the difference. Now Rick Mass being back is huge for Fred Hoiberg just because of his size and he can shoot. But Price Sanford, to me, has been the difference maker in why they've been able to maybe be more consistent. Did you see that out of him? Did you think that was going to happen when he was at Iowa? Did you think he had that? I mean, Peyton was good, but he was so inconsistent.
I don't think we saw enough of him.
That's fair.
To have guessed either way on this. If you would have asked me, I saw his brother be a guy that could go off and really fill it up. And you always heard those things of like, oh yeah, but the Price is even better. And you hear that about brothers. I think it's one of those things, man. He's found the right coach. He's got the right guys around him. And happy for him. I'm no reason to root against him. Happy for him.
That might be the right thing. Is he found the right coach? And I mean, Fred's a technician. He spreads it out. He runs an NBA offense, right? You go to a place because you're emotionally tied. Oh, I'm from Iowa. I grew up a Hawk. I got to be a Hawk. But then you realize maybe I'm not getting the right coaching here.
Well, your coach left. Was fired.
Yes.
Your coach was Fran McCaffrey.
Yes.
That's who coached your brother. You had all these memories of your brother on ESPN waving a towel and pumping a fist, and it's all with the Tiger Hawk. And then that all changes. And the guy that you were emotionally attached to there changes, and you've got this opportunity to go play for another dude who come on, it's Fred Hoiberg. Not far from home. Right fit. Right people. I'm happy for them. Somebody asked earlier, when does this team play Purdue? It is a 4-game stretch for Nebraska where shit gets real. Okay, because here's what happens: they play at that stretch at Northwestern, host Washington, at Minnesota. Win those 3, they're 20-0. Here's their next 4: at Michigan, hosting Illinois, at Rutgers, hosting Purdue.
But you get Purdue at home and you get Illinois at home, and you've already won at Illinois. But that is a tough stretch. Very tough stretch.
I mean, those are 3. If you're asking, are they the best team in the Big Ten? That's when, I mean, those would be 3 of those teams are the other teams you'd have to put in that conversation.
If they go 3-1 in that stretch, assuming they win the next 3 games, if they go 3-1 in that stretch, that's pretty darn good. If they go 2-2, it's pretty good. I think or if they go 1-3, then you go, okay, you're good, but you're not quite up there. Another former Hawkeye had 15 points last night. Josh Dix had 15 for Creighton as they went to overtime last night. That's what kept me up last night, Ross. Beat Georgetown 86-83 in overtime. You know who's not getting love over in Omaha? Ooh, Owen Freeman.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I saw some of that early on.
It's not going well. Now, he's had to deal with injuries, but when you come in as maybe highly touted with that size, he only played 6 minutes last night, and every day I go to work, and they're like, well, I thought he was good. I go, he was.
Did too. I had a lot of hope there. That's one of those guys that I saw that freshman year and went, here we go. This dude's going to be a game changer.
Not living up to it. It'd be interesting to see if he's even invited back next year. He's making a lot of money.
Wow.
I still think it's there. I just think the injuries, the new system, playing for Mac's not easy. You got to play you got to play hard on both ends of the court. And he just has not adapted like I thought he would. And it shows you there are no guarantees in the portal. No guarantees in the portal.
Have you seen the numbers? I mean, thank you for adding that, because I don't want to get on my high horse of I hate it that there's so many people that are doing the Schadenfreude thing, that are taking joy in seeing Owen Freeman's career not turn out to what it could have been. When just years ago they had so much hope and hype and everything for him, and now he's not doing well, and there are people that the same people that were cheering him on are now cheering on his downfall and his not living up to expectations. That's one of the layers of it. I feel bad for the kid because he's not living up to his expectations. He's watching a great career fall apart. Did he cash in? Apparently. But I just don't like, I don't know. Anyway. The portal thing. Have you seen the numbers on Travis, the number of kids in the portal and the ones that have actually landed spots?
No.
It's alarming. I'll see if I can find some of the actual stats as we're in the break here. And again, maybe we can maybe have a conversation about this if you want. I know you got a lot of other things, but my gut says let this portal thing play out, and 2 things are going to happen. Number 1, players are going to realize it is not the path to the top of the game board like they think it is. And number 2, I think donors are eventually going to start waking up and going, we're done cutting these giant checks for this shit.
But there's also something else that you have to take into consideration with the portal. We'll discuss that when we come back, because you're right. The portal's a mess, and I'm with you. I think over time it's going to work itself out. Of course, today is game day, 5:30. 5:30, thanks for the correction, everybody. Iowa takes on Purdue, and game day is not complete without something cold to sip. Choose from Coca-Cola, Sprite, Powerade for the players, Dasani for the fans. You name it, even your favorite energy drinks like Monster and Body Armor. All delivered locally by Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Oh, did see you there. Happy New Year for myself and everyone else over here at Land Rover Des Moines. My personal New Year's resolution is to take better care of my car, and that starts with an oil change. Come on down for $25 off your service. You can give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Hi, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Are you on the verge of taking that next big step in your relationship? Our latest collection of engagement rings is here to make your moment even more memorable. From stunning classics to modern designs, each ring is meticulously crafted to symbolize your unique love story. Looking for something truly one of a kind? Explore our custom engagement ring options and let us bring your vision to life. Visit our showroom in Ankeny and let's start creating the ring of your dreams together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner at Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Happy New Year for myself and everyone else over here at Willis Volvo. My New Year's resolution this year is to take better care of my car, and that starts with an oil change. You can come on down for $25 off your service. Visit us online at willisvolvocars.com or give us a call to get scheduled.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn grows feed for our livestock, food for our families, and clean-burning fuel. For your drive to the game or anywhere you're going, drive with clean, unleaded 88 and support Iowa's corn farmers. Go to iowacorn.org to pump it up with unleaded 88. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. If you haven't followed us on our social media channels, I highly encourage you to do so. You can find our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our X page, or yes, even our TikTok page, which is updated every single day, thanks to our buddy Justin, who we'll hear a little bit later on.
I promise the salmonella didn't get me. I, in fact, just verified the kids are both feeling good and moving around. And
so it's just you.
Just me. And I'm good.
It's just you.
I'm good. It was... like none of you have ever had that happen. I'm okay.
Okay.
It turns out still killing it in the kitchen.
Look at you.
It wasn't, you guys. I promise I wasn't bombing China. Promise.
Wiping the bowl down.
Looks lighter. If this were a dog race, I'd bet on Ross. Promise that's not the case.
You were mentioning the transfer portal.
Yeah. Got some
the other
data
thing about the number of kids that have gone in the transfer portal, and is this about the guys who haven't landed or the guys who aren't producing based on numbers?
Okay, so I think, again, a conversation, and there's got to be some nuance in these numbers, I think, or at least your takeaway from these numbers, in that first thing we should remember is not everybody that enters the portal is looking for a better opportunity, right? There are guys that just realize I'm not at this level. I don't want to play. I want to go to a place where I can play, and my best opportunity is go to whatever. Get out of this situation, and my way out is through the transfer portal. So that's the first filter. Not every guy that goes in is looking for that better opportunity. But,
what I was going to tell you right before that, it kind of goes on this.
Yeah.
Every guy that goes in, not every guy that goes in is doing it voluntarily. Sometimes the coach says, "I need you to hit the transfer portal."
Yeah, we've seen a couple of things. I saw one. I don't even want to remember what school. I've seen a few different schools where kids have posted that said, "I have been informed that I need to go into the transfer portal, or I've been informed that my opportunity here is done." Right now, these are some rough numbers, but and again, all through Google AI type of stuff. Total entrance into the Division I transfer portal right now is over 10,000. That's all it says. Rough number, over 10,000. Signed to Division I schools, 2,675. 25% of the guys in the transfer portal have signed to Division I schools. That's not saying moved up, moved down, better opportunity. That the Division I, 10,000 in, 2,600 signed. That number's going to go up. But I think that these sorts of numbers, the more that they get talked about, and the more data we get over the years, the more it's going to make guys look at this and go, "Oh, it's not the greener pasture. It's staying here." I just heard somebody the other day also talking about this fan loyalty thing. Like these guys. Oh, it was Clay. Who's the dude? Clay Travis.
Yeah,
he had a thing. Yeah. He had a deal about what you guys are missing out on is how loyalty to a community pays off. You have this entire alumni base that will love you, that will support you, that will help you get jobs.
And even if you're a nobody, if you wore the uniform, they're going to be loyal because they think you have an inside track to give them information of your stories in the locker room.
Or they just feel a connection in some way to you. It's as simple as that. They're like, "Hey, I rooted for you. I cheered for you on my television, and you wore my favorite colors, and you're my guy. We got some things in common." You are losing that. And I think that especially at a place like Iowa and Iowa State, that has to be one of the primary sales pitches. Can we pay you as much as all those places? Not right now. And not in the ways you're thinking. But
in the long term.
In the long term. Let me shift gears slightly, but talk about this same thing. How loyalty to a community can pay off, and how not having loyalty to a community, it's not like you just don't have it. It just the lack of it. Darren DeVries is struggling. Tucker DeVries is not turning out to be the NBA talent that some people maybe thought he was going to be.
Well, Darren's struggling in year one. I'm going to cut him some slack there, but I know what you're saying.
Right now, I tell you what, nobody's rooting more for Indiana football than Darren DeVries because he knows that buys him a couple more weeks of people not paying attention.
That's true.
And being as critical as they could be, right? But my point to that is that loyalty to community, which he had for 20 years in Omaha. And for 6-7 years here
6 years in Des Moines.
Yeah. You 2 times, man. After 27 years of loyalty to a 130-mile area, now it's like, well, look at this guy bouncing around, taking the best opportunity he can. And do you feel you are different? I would ask basketball fans in Des Moines, are you rooting for Indiana?
I mean, my relationship with Darren's a little different because it goes back over the span. So I am. I'm trying to watch every Indiana game, trying to watch him. Last night was a disaster. It's the first time I'm like, God, they almost quit on him last night, which was weird. I mean, they're 12-5, I think. I mean, they're not horrible. They may be a tournament team at the end of the year, but I am watching Indiana basketball. But my connection's completely different than most people.
Yeah, I would say, to me, it reminds me of the conversation we just had about Owen Freeman. I'm not rooting against him. I have no reason to root against the guy. I've always liked Aaron. Seems like a wonderful dude. I've always liked rooting for Tucker. I'm not rooting against him, but I'm not rooting for him. I wish the best for them, and I hope his career turns out wonderful for both of them. I'm not rooting for him.
And if Ben McCollum would have gone to anywhere but Iowa, you wouldn't be rooting for Ben McCollum.
No, he'd be Nico Davis. Holy cow.
He'd
be
Davis.
Nico Medved to me.
Nico Medved.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nico was a one-year guy. Ben was a one-year guy.
Yeah.
Darren's different because he did. Hey, listen, he's 6 years with his resume. He could have left at any time.
And Trav, I am so. I have so much admiration for his career at Creighton, where he was with several different coaches. During that time period, that was really hard. And it said a lot about him. It said a lot about what his culture, what kind of guy he was, what kind of recruiter he was, what kind of worker he was, that coaches said, hey, keep this dude.
And he wanted the Drake job. I mean, he wanted it on 3 different occasions. He was turned down twice, got it on the 3rd time. He always knew that Drake was his job that he wanted to start at.
Thank God for Brian Harden. Jesus. All right. So there's the portal and the.
I think when it comes to loyalty, like Darren though, he gave Drake more than people. I think people thought after year 3.
And I don't mean to make this a personal thing about Darren, because I do like him, and I know that it's like I tried to say. I know that it's different for you because you had a 20-year personal relationship with the guy, watched his kids grow up. So I get it, and I'm not rooting against him. But I have the same sort of affection for him that I did for Harrison Barnes when he went to North Carolina. Like, oh yeah, that guy was in my community for a while. Cool. What's next? What's going on with the Hawks? And that's where that's what I'm saying. The loyalty to a team is something that these schools, I'm sure they're already doing it, but man, you got to beat that home. Like there's such a payoff at the end of this if you just commit to the university.
There's other things you have to take into account. And I'm not disagreeing with anything. One is a coach can say, hey, we don't have room for you. You need to move on. The other facet is of those 10,000 that are in there, how many of those guys just want to play football because they're addicted? So the people who are going to benefit are your Division II, your FCS, your Grandviews of the world, because you get guys that just want to play football. They understand the loyalty that may happen, but they want to play. They want to be on the field, and they take their shot and do that. So there's a lot of layers to this thing.
There are, and that's why those rough numbers I think are tough because you don't. That's again that first thing I try to say. Not everybody is doing the man. I'm going to go cash in. In fact, Travis, I bet we always have that conversation about like the percentage of players that are actually the percentage of D1 players that are going to go pro.
It's less than 1%, isn't it?
I wonder what percentage of these players in the portal, the 10,000 guys that are in the portal, what percentage of them are truly in it for that first thing that we all think of? They're in it because they think Alabama is going to pay them $1 million to play football next year or fill in. How many of these guys of the 10,000 think that entering the portal is their $1 million contract? I'd say it's less than 1%.
I would agree with you. I would agree with you. And according to the Google AI machine, in all NCAA football players, 1.5 to 2% will go pro.
Yeah.
Will go pro. And hell, how many of those are guys who probably weren't Rich Portal guys that can't? What do you mean he came from Bethune-Cookman? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know?
Good point. Good point. Irish Hawkeye is looking for an update on the Bill Blank proposal that we made yesterday.
He's in. He knows where to go.
I was going to slow play it, build Bill up again.
Bill doesn't need building up.
It doesn't need tearing down.
Special.
He does enough of that on his
own.
He tears himself down enough. He doesn't need help.
Not tearing him down. We got the resolution on the Mike Tomlin situation yesterday. Mike Tomlin resigned, stepped down, and I don't think he was because, hear me out, they own him for 2 years. He's got 2 years. From what we know right now, if he wants to coach, somebody's going to have to pay the Steelers some money or there's going to have to be some trades involved. So they still own his rights.
Okay.
I was watching a lot of TV this morning, and I can buy into this. It's not that the Steelers are upset, but I think, you look at Mike Tomlin and go, I've had a good run. And
Travis,
the truth is he's going to have to rebuild.
I thought yesterday the question was, are the Steelers going to fire Mike Tomlin?
It was. But he resigned. He got to the players' meeting and said, guys, I'm going to step down. You think he was fired?
I think it's one of those give it the air quotes things.
Don't you release his rights then?
Probably, and I'm glad you clarified that for me. Probably, yeah. But I mean, in 24 hours, it's hard for me to go from, are the Steelers going to fire Mike Tomlin is the question of the day, to, oh yeah, he stepped down. Come on, this is the piss on me and tell me it's raining thing I'm always talking about. Like, it's okay for us to go, okay, maybe. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. What I do know is I know 1% of it, and the rest is what they tell me. And Ross, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in my simple little brain that 24 hours ago the question was, "Hey, they're going to fire him, right?" And most people were like, "Yeah, probably a lot of smoke there, To, oh yeah, he just decided it was time to walk away.
Hear me out. Maybe he can sacrifice 2 years because maybe he goes, you know what? I'm going to take a year off and I'm going to beat him to the punch. I'm going to resign before they even come to me and say, hey, let's mutually do that. I'm okay with you owning my rights for 2 years. If I don't coach next year, it's going to be 1 year. Yeah. It's going to be minimal. Dude. So it could be, I beat you to the punch.
I love it. And that makes a lot of sense for a 53-year-old guy who's accomplished all the things he needs to accomplish. He's got a Hall of Fame resume. Why jump at something right now when a lot of these franchises that are open right now, give it a couple years?
Never say never.
That'd be a fun conversation.
But do we ever see a Mike Tomlin who stayed 7 or 19 years at a franchise in the National Football? The average tenure of a head coach in the NFL is 3 years.
What? The average tenure for an NFL coach is 3 years?
I believe I heard that yesterday.
Never say never, Trav, but I can't imagine how. There's a few of these.
3 to 4 years is the average tenure.
That's insane.
So guys like John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin, we're not going to see anymore. Even if John Harbaugh lands on his feet, don't expect John Harbaugh to be 10, 15 years at another program. Like 63 years old.
Is that that number that you just pulled up, Trav? Does it tell you right away? Does that include Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh?
Yeah, because look at somebody brought it up. Look at the Raiders. How many head coaches have they been through in one season? Pete Carroll, one season. Yeah, that's going to drive your average down. Sure, you're going to have the anomalies, but you have so many franchises that are making head coaching changes, and on a whim that it drives that average down.
I still had this up in my like right away. My internet was like, "Oh, we've got this for you," because we just looked this up. This is insane. When would you go back to? Because it's funny. You think of Art Shell, but you forget Art Shell actually had 2 little stints, right? Art Shell was the coach from 1989 to 1994. That's a 5-year stint. Jesus, this is unbelievable to look at.
So, Kurt, this is the most up-to-date. Andy Reid, the longest tenured at 13 years at the Kansas City Chiefs. Sean McVay is tied with Kyle Shanahan at 9 years. And Sean McDermott with the Bills. Zach Taylor with the Bengals, 7 seasons, and he's on thin ice. Matt LaFleur, the Packers, with 7. Again, he's being
fired.
Yeah. But, I mean, your top 5 is 7 years. It's hard. It is very, very hard to keep your job in the National Football League. Just like it's going to be hard to keep your job in college football.
So for the Raiders, real quickly, let's just go back 25. Let's go back to the year 2000 when John Gruden, Bill Callahan, Norv Turner, Art Shell, Lane Kiffin, Tom Cable, Hugh Jackson, Dennis Allen, Tony Soprano, Jack Del Rio, John Gruden,
My God,
Rich Bisaccia, Josh McDaniels, Antonio Pierce, and Pete Carroll.
Take a shot every time you name a Raiders coach.
15 coaches in 25 years. My buddy Mike sent me a message the other day, and he's said, I've got something to add to the Rush drinking game. Because, there is a Rush drinking game that's been started by the chat group.
Is that right?
Every time Travis mentions Dr. Rob, take a drink. And
Higgins? Is Higgins in on that drinking
I'm sure
game?
he's in there. There's several rules to it. Mike is adding to his bingo card every time I say dude. Apparently I say dude a lot.
Dude. Justin.
Because you like to party.
It's because I like to party. I'm Ross. I like to party.
Dude.
What's up, Justin? How are you, bud?
I'm doing good, guys. Glad to hear that Bill's on the team.
Yeah, we're loading it up.
He was committed right away. I think he got stage fright. I think that's what it was. I think that Bill, he didn't like Travis's approach. He didn't like being cornered.
I didn't think Travis's approach was bad. It's wheelchair basketball.
Are you in or you out? That's all we need to know.
God build a team. We're trying to win championships here.
Justin and I were brothers in arms last night. We were up watching college basketball.
Dude, I love college basketball. It is the one sport
dude,
you could
you
put
just
on.
Said dude.
I did. You could put on any team. It could be University of Phoenix Online versus San Diego State. And I'll be like, all right, I'm in.
Practices are tough for University of Phoenix Online. Their ball movement really reflects it.
It's 2K.
Does University of Phoenix even exist anymore? I'm being dead honest question.
I think that's a thing.
It was for a long time, but they stopped getting assistants because it was a for-profit university.
Absolutely. They're still rocking and rolling. You kidding me?
Still rocking it?
They've even got a campus?
I thought it was all
Let
online.
me guess, in Phoenix?
Yeah.
What's the point?
They got an address and everything, guys.
They got an address.
I thought it was all online. That was the whole point of it. They have a campus?
And their graduates probably even walk the stage.
Okay.
Man, does not
Virtually.
let it die. Doesn't miss on you.
I would have walked the stage if it was on Zoom.
If it was on Zoom.
Just like show up like I do on this show. Hi.
Yeah. Did we screw up anything?
Did we screw up anything today?
No, and then you guys kept stealing all my stats. I had the NFL coach 10-year stat ready to go at like 6 a.m. today because I saw it on Twitter. And then I had the correction for the Indiana-Michigan State score. You got that corrected. No, you guys stole everything. The only thing I got for you is the combined record of all Iowa teams. And by all, I mean the big four. If like you and I...
By the way, I didn't even get to you and I. You and I got beat by UIC at home last night. Third straight loss for the Panthers. That's a tough one.
I saw Tyler, our resident UNI flag bearer, and he said things aren't good right now for Jake.
They have some injuries too.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird how fast it can go down? I mean, it's just like they're rolling, boom. And you're right, injuries play a part, but
yearly January you and I conversation, right? Of like, oh, man, what's going on? And in late February, where's your money? Jake going to be all right?
Drake's going to be at Southern Illinois tonight?
Yeah. Both teams 8 and 9. It's just SIU comes out and they're that scrappy team that can compete with anyone. Like they've lost to Murray State and Bradley by a combined 7 points. Drake got blown out by Bradley. Drake lost at Murray State by 9. So SIU, like, they may not be great. They're good, but they're that scrappy team you get nervous about.
Where did they play Murray State and Bradley? Or those home games?
No, they
Southern?
both. Oh, Southern?
Yeah, Southern. I know that Drake was on the road, and there's a difference there.
I think SIU was at home for both, but I need to double check. But I had a stat here for you guys of since last Tuesday, the Big Four men and women's basketball teams of UNI, Iowa, Drake, and Iowa State are combined 3-13.
I knew this was going to be bad as I was doing those in my head. Been a rough week. Couple weeks.
Iowa State women 0-2, UNI women 0-2, men's basketball for the Hawks 0-2, men's basketball for UNI and Drake 0-2, Drake women 0-2 as well. The only teams that have wins is Iowa, who I think are like, they're on a winning streak. So this is just dating back to last Tuesday. But
what do you mean they're on a winning? You mean the women are on a winning?
The women, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Iowa State men are 2-1, of course. So, but yeah, tough week.
3 wins out of all those teams. 2 of them are from the Iowa State men.
Yep.
Damn. Way to cheer us up before we get off the air, Justin. Really
That's
appreciate
all I had.
that.
That's all
Hey,
I
you guys
had.
remember the kid Alex Honnold, the one from Free Solo? Travis, you remember that?
Yeah.
The documentary with
Yeah.
the dude climbing the rock. Have you seen he's going to do a live event on Netflix from Taiwan where he's going to climb the outside of a building?
Oh, that has disaster. I thought he got out of the game. I thought his mortality got to him.
No, he had a wife and a kid, so now he's like, I gotta get out there.
And Netflix said, "Hey, we'll pay you a lot of money to do this." It's got to be on a delay, right? I mean,
dude, I had all of the thoughts that you are thinking right now. I had all of those thoughts. Am I going to watch it? Do I want to watch it? Yes. Am I going to watch it? Justin, you're like,
dude,
gleefully yes.
I loved Free Solo. Every second of it. The way I got so nervous, even though you're like, oh, of course he survives because they're airing it.
Yeah.
Now this, I mean, yeah, I'm all for
I had
it.
all those thoughts you did, Trav. Wait till you see the building. I mean, not like they make buildings.
Does it look
that are
harder than
climbable.
El Capitan?
Dude.
It does. All right.
I wonder which one's harder. Because, like, a rock, I mean, do you have more?
He'll do the building faster, I guarantee that.
Yeah, I think so, too.
How fast can you
Willie's
climb this?
Thinking about it. I don't know if I'll watch it.
Yeah, because I don't like heights. All right,
I'll
everybody,
watch it.
thanks for listening today. We appreciate it. Make sure to follow us on our social media channels. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Start spreading the news, cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Hi, I'm John Linares with Willis Lexus, and it's January and the deals got better. And our lease rates went down. We have a promotional 42-month term, which makes for a great value. On all gas models, we also have 2.99 for 48 months, 3.99 for 60, and 4.99 for 72 months. We've replenished our inventory of RZ this month, and we have 4 in stock. They have 0% up to 72 months, along with $2,000 of bonus cash. Stop in and see us or visit us online at willislexus.com.
Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Missing a quality, home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.